cut this part. I'm
okay. Just remember this is live. So.
Oh yes.
Hey, get in here. Dallas is about to start.
Welcome to the Ewing Barbecue. We are a Dallas rewatch podcast where we rewatch every single episode of Dallas one at a time. And sometimes we play a drinking game along to it. Can we buy you a drink? My name is Mary.
And I'm Sarah.
I'm Josh, and I'm already drinking, so I'll still take that drink.
And I'm Melanie. And I'm a brunette again, y'all.
I know, crazy.
Whoa. Anyway.
So
let's get right down to it.
Yeah, I need to thank our Patreon members first. I need to thank Brendan Phillick, Captain America, Amy Hara, Brad Mulholland, Marie Johnson, Michael Ewing, Jason Carter, Jennifer Delicato, Laura Bernheim, Carl Reinch, Anita Wren, and Kristen Carlano.
Ooh.
Thank you.
You keep our livers lubricated.
Yes. And we thank all of our Patreon supporters because they have gone out of their way to actively support us. That's the only reason that we are able to do this. So thank you so much.
Even the ones who signed up for the free, because I mean that's showing support right there.
It is.
You're subscribing to our stuff, to our idiocy, to our shenanigans. So that means a lot. Shenanigans. Yes.
You've allowed us to make business cards and merchandise and giant banners to hang at the conventions and all those
and make a profit, y'all. And I'm sorry,
I don't think we've made a profit yet, but we at least are not paying out of pocket anymore.
Oh, I mean, we're breaking even. That's the word I was looking for.
We're about breaking even, so that's still good.
You do this for a living. Shame on you.
We literally get to just talk about Dallas and people listen to us. Like what? That's my childhood dream.
But we're not Breaking Bad.
We are not Breaking Bad. No,
not yet.
No.
Seriously, I seriously hope nobody I work with listens to this. They probably don't, but I mean, I just mixed up. I just mixed up profit with breaking even. That's terrible, and it's significant.
And also, you're off the clock and you're drinking, so fuck it.
True.
I'm a little high. Right there, you go.
Well,
edibles. Sorry.
Okay, so
speaking of edibles, this coming weekend, Armory Cats will be at New Jersey HorrorCon, and that is taking place on April 20th, which in the marijuana world is, I never figured out what the 420 means. I think it's also
420. I believe it's the police code for drugs, I think.
I know Larry Hagman died at 4:20 in the afternoon.
I know 187 is homicide.
But Omri did say we'll have a smoke sesh after the convention on April 20th. So if you're down in New Jersey, go join them.
Jersey's got dispensaries. Mm-hmm.
The following weekend, Jenna Lee Harrison and Deb Trinelli are at Chiller, and there is a Dallas duo photo op with the two of them. And they were also on Three's Company, so it's also a Three's Company photo op as well. Mother's Day brunch, May 12th, South Fork Ranch, 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Adults $60, children are $25. Birthdays. Let's see. Birthday. What is today? Today is the 17th. Okay. Tyler Banks will be 45 on the 19th. The 21st is the 5th anniversary of Ken Kercheval's passing.
Yeah.
And on the 22nd is the 25th anniversary of Burt Remsen's passing, who played Dandy Dandridge.
Dandy.
And Jordana Brewster celebrates her birthday on the 26th, which is the anniversary of Jim Davis's death. Jim Davis will have been gone for 43 years.
Wow. And we got to meet his granddaughter niece. His niece at the Hollywood show. And that was really cool.
Yes.
She was really nice.
He seemed real loud and eccentric.
I believe that's how I'm going to be when I get older, kind of like that lady. She was like, hey, yeah.
Oh, that was her?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize it.
You know, she's like,
I know exactly who you're talking about, but I didn't realize that was her.
And they introduced
her husband
her at
around
the
the whole
panel.
time.
They introduced her at the panel as
Here,
well.
Larry, or whatever his name
Well,
was.
I wasn't in on the panel. I sat in the hallway, remember?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, you can watch the panel on our YouTube channel if you happen to.
That's true.
And over 13,000 people have already watched it.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're listening to this and you haven't watched the panel, it's so good. It is on our YouTube, which is in our show notes, but it's also YouTube/Ewing BBQ. So tonight we are talking about season 6, episode 25, episode 128 of the series, Tangled Web.
Well, where are we going anyhow? Hang on!
There's an enormous attraction between you and me.
Mark, you know I'm married.
If you really were, you'd be with Bobby.
You remember I told you Mark Graison made one of his jets available to her? Well, what I didn't tell you was he was on it.
And it is quite a tangled web we are weaving. Sure. It was written by David Paulsen, directed by Nicholas Sgarro, I believe you pronounce it, and it aired March 31st, 1983.
I have also, April Fool's Day down in the book.
Oh, is it?
4/1/83 in this Barbara Curran book, but
okay. I got where did I get that? I think that was a well, one or the other. Whatever was Friday. So the 31st or the 1st.
Good way. What year was it?
1983.
We could Google.
Because I did note in my little notes there that a lot of people were made fools of in this episode on April Fool's Day.
That is pretty true also. The number one song is still Billie Jean by Michael Jackson and Is There Something I Should Know by Duran Duran. The number one movie in the U.S. is Return of the Jedi. And top news stories from today, well, March 31st, that's what I got it for, so, is Marsha Norman's Night Mother premiered in New York City. There was a Pompeian earthquake in Colombia, killing 267 people, injuring 7,500, which I guess are also our deaths from today. And also released today was Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, which was my first Monty Python movie.
Oh.
I like Holy Grail better, but that one is good too.
Friday, April 1st. I just Googled it.
Friday, April 1st. Okay, well, it's close. It's mostly the right info.
March 32nd.
March 32nd. Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Awesome. All right. And
March 32nd.
on Dallas.
And on Dallas, this episode stayed at number 4 from the previous week as well. Leonard Katzman felt the character of Mark Graison stood for perfection. But that's what the audience demands for Pam, he said.
Perfection, huh?
He may be more one-dimensional than the other characters, but it's only because everyone thinks Pam deserves nothing less.
I don't buy any of this, but okay.
Pornstache. Lois Childs, without giving away what happened in this episode, could not predict the behavior of her character in what whether Holly was a good girl or a bad girl or what she would do next. She would just receive a single script each week and was often in the makeup chair by the time she got to review her lines. So
wow,
she could not predict what was coming next. So,
right. She didn't know how to actually play her character. That's what that sounds like.
Yes.
Huh. It's interesting.
Let's go back to Cuba.
Cuba. So we open on Havana, Cuba. Prison exterior night.
Night.
And JR is being awoken in the middle of the night by guards.
And he has that vest on, that very expensive suit vest that he's wearing. You can see from the back, it's all, is that like
shiny,
satin or
like
shiny?
Probably satin, yeah. Like a sateen.
Yes.
I think it's just to show like the dirty jail cell and then his, shiny, fancy clothes.
To compare and contrast the, yes.
Yep.
I get you.
And he gets taken to Ignacio Perez, who's the guy he's been trying to talk to the whole time.
Yeah. And he was trying to teach JR a lesson.
And I'm down with that, honestly. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
He deserves it so much.
Punked. Guess what? You're in my home now.
You just got April fooled.
It's so good.
He's
basically like, yeah, he's mad, but also like, I feel like he kind of respects it a little bit. He's like, oh, okay. Because he's like, look, this is what could have happened to me if I was caught in America, but worse. So
he would have been in jail a lot longer.
Right.
Yes. But they are honorable people, and they concluded their business the way it had intended, with the $40 million for JR, the $1 million for, and so everybody left happy after that little kerfluffle.
Kerfluffle, yes.
I haven't used that word in a while. I just needed to stick it somewhere.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Kerfluffle.
That's.
And we got to Bobby, and he has some dudes there. Do you have their names down?
Jackson. I got the name Jackson again.
Jackson. Okay. And they're so like happy he found the drill bit, and they're like, yeah, this is gonna make all the difference.
But that idiot Barnes has pulled the rug out from under him, and they can't have it. But Jackson suggests that Bobby calls Pam.
Right. He's like, well, isn't your wife like part owner? Can't she just like let you use it? And then Bobby's just like, I don't want to talk about it.
No, that's the sound that Melanie makes.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. Have I ever made this sound before?
Yes.
Oh.
You have.
Like a lot? Because you made that sound a lot?
Well, she's done it on occasion.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah. That's not.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it like the South Park guys who just, like it's a crowd coming and it's like.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Something like that. Okay, now I get it. Yeah. I was like, what?
Our next scene is the Love Boat-esque stock shot of Cannes, France. Every time I see one of these stock shots, they just scream Love Boat to me.
Come aboard. We're expecting you.
And we cut to the beach. It's a French beach. And George and Marie Walker.
Beach.
The women have the braided armpits.
That's the only thing I know in French.
As Buzz said in Home Alone, is it true French babes don't shave their pits? No.
So they're walking on the beach, and then they run into their friend Pam Ewing. Oh, hey Pam! It's so crazy to see you here.
Is Bobby with you?
Oh my God! How are you? No, he's at home. And then here comes Pornstache. And Pam is like,
a deer in the headlights.
And you can kind of see they're shaking hands and stuff, but you can kind of see the couple like,
It's a little.
Whoa.
Yeah.
As Joe Jackson said, she's stepping out
Pam
tonight.
is like, oh, well, Bobby's at home, and this is my friend. Like, she's kind of like oblivious. And they're like,
I think she's just trying to cover because before
at first, and then she's like, oh. You know, it's kind of like they all have the realization.
Because he had just George guy had just made a joke about like, oh, Bobby lets you come here by yourself, and then
oh, yes,
stepping out
so
tonight.
Awkward. It's so awkward. But then my favorite is
I was telling you earlier that this entire episode is awkward. Like there's so many cringe moments.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you have to wash after watching this episode? Because it was
I had to take an edible.
Oh.
I was like, oh, get that out of my mind.
Oh, okay.
My favorite though is
The
when
one week quit
they
sniffing glue.
shake hands. George and Pornstache shake hands, and George looks Pornstache directly in the face and just says, "Have a good time."
I was like, oh,
what is that?
I don't know.
What was that?
That's Pornstache riding the wild bronco.
Yeah, moving on.
Well, it's a little awkward after the walkers walk away. There's a Pam and Pornstache discuss how he wanted something to happen on this trip. And
I know, it's a little bold.
Yeah.
It's a little bold.
It's really making me think he's more and more sleazy by the minute.
Well, I mean, he went from saying, you know, oh, well, you won't even see me if you don't want to saying that. I mean, come on, dude.
Come on, Pam. There's an attraction between us. You know you want to ride the wild Graison.
That was very direct.
It was. Baldy.
Well, that's what he's being. I mean, if she really wanted to go by herself, there were how many airlines to fly to France, he said? But she chose to be on his plane with him.
Yeah.
He's not wrong in that.
Damn it. Damn it, Pam. Damn it, Pam.
This is where Pam starts to bother me. This is
Damn
about
it, Pam.
Well,
And the whole time, this whole episode, everybody is like trying to get a hold of Pam and pass messages to Pam.
you should have called the walkers. You would have had better luck finding them first. And they could have delivered the message. Then we go to South Fork Kitchen, and Clayton and Ellie are looking over reading material on different houses. And Lucy walks in, says she wants to buy a condo as an investment. And Ellie goes, oh, no. You should talk to Harv Smithfield. Maybe he's had dealings in investment law and stuff like that. So,
I mean, that's not a terrible idea.
No. If Lucy wants to get involved in investments and stuff, that's very noble of her to want to move into the business world that way. But Clayton says, maybe a condo is not a bad idea. And Ellie goes, oh, no. After all the time we spent looking for houses, you're not getting a condo. You're going after a house. So obviously that's a more... She did not seem too bothered at the time, left over from when she overheard Clayton and Sue Ellen talking the night before in the living room.
Okay.
And she
this is like major wife energy coming through right now.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
She's grilling him.
Oh, she grills him later in the episode, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is like a subtle girl that starts out, and then she grills him later, and it's... Miss Ellie is like, look... She's basically like, look, what are your intentions? Like, I know you were... Basically, I know you were in love with my daughter-in-law, so, like...
Oh, that happens when they're out at dinner.
Oh, shit.
When he's at dinner.
Back up.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Got the scene mixed up. Oopsies. Anyway, no, she's grilling him about the...
Condos and...
What? Yeah, why were you so quick to leave the ranch? And like, why? He was like, well, I was running away from memories, right? Didn't he say something like that? Running away from memories?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he says it there or at dinner, but But this is just basically a quick scene just to show they're still looking at the houses, and he's like, "Oh, maybe a condo." And then
I'm mixed up.
it's obviously an obligatory scene. We have to get Lucy in the episode somewhere.
Well, sure.
Right. But we had Aunt Lil in this episode, but no Mickey, as you noticed.
Yeah, Aunt Lil.
Lil the pill.
I have thoughts.
Lil the pill.
I've noticed her eyes like travel back and forth all the time when she's thinking. She's like
Maybe
literally.
she's reading her lines on cue cards that are offset.
Could be.
Maybe.
Marlon Brando refused to learn his lines in Superman. He had them stand off camera with cue cards.
Well, that's just lazy.
But Patrick Duffy did not use cue cards at the Cattleman's Club when he went to meet Holly. And she doesn't blame Bobby for her problem and losing the money. He did warn her not to get involved with JR, and she did anyway. And she really wants to help him now because she does not want JR to succeed. And she says she has someone that has a drill bit and she can talk to them, but Bobby said, "Oh no, we've already done that. Thornton McLeish and I, we've already gone over that with the same individual, and it's just not going to happen." But what's interesting is she says that you never know what can happen between now and the end of the contest that might throw JR off of his perch.
And she does this kind of the same thing that Sue Ellen does. It's like, stop talking. You are giving too much away right now.
Right.
Sue Ellen does the same thing.
I think
the walls have ears.
I think they should have everyone spill their guts to John Ross, like JR and Sue Ellen would do when they were talking to him in the nursery. And then
meanwhile, there's like a recorder hidden in the teddy bear.
Yeah, or that upside down rainbow painted on the wall.
Yeah, it's really a microphone.
Well. Let's head over to the condo. Speaking of condos, and Katherine barging in past Afton, trying to rip Cliff a new one for embarrassing her in front of Bobby.
Man, and I love... Okay, first of all, Afton has always had backbone, but Afton has also grown a brain.
Yes,
very much so. It's getting every episode is getting more and more every season, but yes, for sure.
She picks up on Katherine's intent like that.
Yep. I think she's the only one that fully is like, she's not what she is claiming to be.
And Cliff is like, whoa, okay.
She
having no idea.
Of course, she also picked up on the fact that Clayton was in love with Sue Ellen.
True.
Afton is not the dumb blonde that they brought her in to be.
No, she's very wise.
She is smart.
Yes, and the way she slaps Katherine down and throws her out of the house, basically, the condo, rather. That that was beautiful, and
she doesn't. It's not even her house, right? She hasn't moved in.
I think she has.
Or she had moved in. Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, she stood up. She was like, "No, bitch, this is my house, sister or not. You're not going to speak to him this way. Get the fuck out."
Exactly.
Basically.
And if CBS didn't have censors, that's exactly what she would have said.
Yep.
Verbatim. But what she tells Cliff is interesting. I like this line. Take a moment to see outside of yourself. You will see a lot of things.
That's true.
Very perceptive. Very perceptive.
But Cliff really can't see outside of himself.
No.
And that's gonna be brought up later.
That he has very narrow vision. He just sees directly in front of him. He doesn't see the peripheral of everything going on around him.
No, and that is his downfall because it's always JR in his peripheral vision. He never sees him coming.
And objects in the rearview mirror may appear closer than they are. Sorry, Meatloaf. And then JR returns from Cuba to the Ewing Oil Building with gifts for Kendall, Sly, and even Phyllis. And actually, Bobby comes out and he pulls Bobby in the office. He has a gift for Bobby, too. A nice box of Cuban cigars. Well, he drops the wonderful news that I got my money out of Cuba and the company's going to be mine.
And Bobby's like, fuck, 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 rah, and then does the Bobby like growl, and they get heated.
Could he take those Cuban cigars and sell them for money and put them into his half of the company? I know it wouldn't be much, but
no, wouldn't be that much.
No, but he needs every penny he can get at this point because his assets are frozen in Canada at the moment. So
true.
Well, and we have to drink because we go to South Fork at night, and just about every light is on in the house. As
you're not twisting my arm to drink.
So Sue Ellen is going to meet JR in town, and Clayton has surprised to learn that JR was in Cuba. And,
oh my God. Cuba.
They offer
Chile.
He's like, so are you? Well, Sue Ellen's like, well, it was a goodwill mission, and for his possible senatorial campaign, and Clayton's like, oh, well, I suppose you'll all be moving off to Washington then? Well, that's the plan. And Clayton offers to feed John Ross so Sue Ellen can get going. And Ellie overhears Clayton and Sue Ellen talking again about how they miss each other and this and that. And she always seems to be like right there. Can't she just hear the rest of their conversation and stop jumping to conclusions? Or that's not what the producers want, is it now?
Yeah, just stay there and finish eavesdropping. Just kidding.
That's right. Then we head over to Holly's office where Bobby arrives and breaks the news that JR has gotten all the money from the Cuban deal and tells her to go after her half of the money so that way JR can't add that to his lead and distance himself even further from Bobby in the fight. And she said, oh, I absolutely will be going after my part of the money. And he said, if something is going to happen to JR, it better happen soon.
Yeah. You're just giving her ammunition now, dude.
Now we cut to Ellie at dinner in the scene you were talking about. So,
okay, yeah.
Run with it. Go ahead. Set it up and go.
Isn't this where she starts grilling him about being in love with Sue Ellen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Suzanne?
And he has to prove to her that he's over it, pretty much. She's really like trying to dig around and find out his intentions. Like, why did you sell the Southern Cross? Why did you move to Dallas? What are you doing here? Did you come here for me or did you come here for Sue Ellen? That's what I think is going on in her brain.
She's trying to get all the dates, like.
Right, and there was a time when he had feelings for Sue Ellen, and she thought of him more as a father type, and he did.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, she was going with his son, so it's not like, oh, the son leaves, so let's go for daddy. That would just be really creepy.
It's fucking weird.
It is.
But I'm sorry, and no offense, Josh, but that's the way men think. Women don't think that way. Typically, I'd say 90% of women don't think that way.
Sorry, Steve.
Well,
the other 10, well, y'all are a rare breed and have at it, man. Like, God.
Well, it's like my father said when my stepmother turned 50, his joke was, well, I'm going to trade her in for 225s.
Oh, my God.
Sometimes
there's a man.
Sometimes his humor was not appropriate. He went down to the Super Bowl with my stepmother in 1986, and they went with David Kelly, who's married to Michelle Pfeiffer, and his brother Mark. And my father ends up on the radio with the local sports disc jockey from Boston, and he said, well, I'm down here with my wife, which is like taking a sandwich to a banquet. And it's like, oh.
Well, that's not nice.
No.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
Oh my God.
Oh, it is. Yeah. And she didn't understand it, and he had to explain it to her. And then to this day, she still gets pissed, and he's been gone for almost 19 years.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. But if she had been on the stairs long enough, and if she had been outside the living room in the previous episode long enough, she would have heard the bulk of the conversation, and there was nothing that she really needed to.
The consequences of eavesdropping.
Right. Like every episode of Three's Company.
You're not wrong.
That's so true. That and the Jeffersons, like when Florence is like, what they say?
Yeah, I mean, and also I think she's probably intimidated, I think, by younger women, right?
She hasn't been on the dating scene because she's been married. She was married for how many years there? So it's
and like having to think about like, oh God, am I attracted? Are they attracted to me physically? And then if he was attracted to Sue Ellen, like how do I compare to Sue Ellen, right?
And
I can see that.
And then she's obviously has the issue of Sue Ellen didn't have a mastectomy.
Right. Exactly. That on top of the fact that Sue Ellen is way younger, super tall, long-legged, whatever, you know.
She was Miss Texas.
The way I'm going to describe Ellie and Clayton is that when they first met, and Jock was still alive when they first met, there was like some magnetic thing that like they knew they had business with each other, but they didn't know what it was.
I was like, what is that? What that?
Magnets, I'm sorry.
You just couldn't find the word, like this.
I'm trying to make it such this like romantic thing, and then I just fucked it all up. But no, like they knew, it's like they kind of like were drawn to each other almost. I want to say, like, I think they had good chemistry.
That's the word I was thinking of.
Yeah, and they like didn't understand like at the time what that meant. And then all these things happened, and now it's like, oh, we got to know each other on that level before we even thought about being romantic.
Because I think there's a lot of people, when you click with someone and you don't know exactly why, but you know that you're clicking with them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. There's I don't want to say attraction, but like like you said, you're drawn to somebody for some kind of reason.
And a chemistry and an electricity thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
My therapist said that she thinks that there's like people have silent communication that like is unconscious that we do.
Yes.
Ooh, that's neat.
With each other without like
totally
without verbal communication.
It's like when you can complete each other's sentences, when you look at the other one and know what their next move is going to be, like you guys move in tandem together.
I always think of that.
Listen to me rambling.
Call it a trope, I guess. Is the best word for it. When you have the couple sitting in a restaurant or something, having lunch or something, and then without realizing it, they're the last two left, and they're just still talking. And it's been hours, and they've just everything else just phases out, and it just tunes out, and it's like, oh, we're the last two left here. Whoa, how did that happen?
Because they're just they're just having such a good time, right?
They're so into each other that they just don't even know what's going on around them.
And it's like when I used to there were times that I used to spend at my now boyfriend's house that like not even like I'd leave really late or stay really late. Or like, I don't know, not go home. Anyway, the point is, we would be talking the whole time. Like, the whole time. Nothing romantic. And when you can talk to somebody for 7 or 8 hours straight, that's when you kind of know you found your person. And I think Miss Ellie and Clayton are like, at that point, and she's like, are you serious? Like, I think her marriage to Jock was for totally different reasons. And this relationship with Clayton maybe reminds her a little of the one she had with Digger.
Oh.
So she's walking into it with some caution.
Right.
Like the feelings are there, but she's like, so what are your intentions, dude?
Yeah.
Jock, we all know, essentially saved South Fork during the Dust Bowl.
Okay.
So that marriage had to happen for
It's a
business.
marriage of convenience. I think she was super attracted to
love
him.
Yeah, she learned to love him over time.
She was attracted to him, but it was a marriage of convenience for her. She did it to save the ranch.
Right, in the beginning, and then it grew from there.
Yeah, it grew from there.
They built a
That's
family
the
and a
literal
life together.
definition of she learned to love him.
Yes.
But Digger was different. That's what I said. I think like Clayton reminds her a little of Digger, that attraction she felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not out of convenience. It's out of, like, there's something there.
It's like there's a mutual thing here.
And then we have to drink again because Bobby pulls in the South Fork and all the lights are on at night again in the ranch.
Oh
my. Oh my.
Yeah, he pulls in, and Katherine is just like waiting there in the house, which I just.
That's kind of
weird.
awkward.
I don't know. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I came here to bring over some of Christopher's toys," and then just sat and waited for him to come home. Okay.
I mean, this isn't a good look.
It's not.
The crazy
And I was
started coming
going
out.
through your dresser, and I was going through all your things in your
she
room while
definitely
you were
was.
not
She's
here.
like smelling your
But I'm
sheets.
not gonna,
Oh my god.
but I'm not going to tell you. Sniffing his cologne
This
in the
is what
bathroom.
Afton was like about because she saw it. You know.
So then, like, he's like, "All right, well, you're here. Can I buy you a drink? Because buy you a drink.
Can I buy you a drink? Drink? Oh, wow. She just finished that motherfucker, didn't she? He tipped it all the way back. Sorry.
So then he tells her about the situation with JR, and then he's like, "I got the only thing I can do is go to France. I'm just gonna hop on a plane and go to France."
You don't want to go
And I was
there.
like,
No,
There's something
not a
I've
good
got to
idea.
tell you.
that. And I do have to give
She's with-
Katherine props because it's actually it's decent of her to warn him about Mark because Pornstache, because it would have been way more impactful, negative on their marriage if he had gone there and interrupted them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That would have been so it's actually pretty decent of Katherine to be like, you might not want to go.
There could have been an international incident.
International incident.
Yeah.
I like that.
Right.
International incident.
So then Bobby's just like, wait, Pornstache went to France with her? It's like, yeah.
Well, he's just Johnny on the spot, isn't he? In quoting
He's
him
not
from
thrilled.
a previous. No, he's not having it. More April Fools.
Ewing Oil Offices Night. JR is playing on his
Tapping away.
computer.
Is that like a Commodore computer? Or
It looks like it's probably not a Commodore 64,
Leading
but
Edge
it's
or something. With whopping 100 megabytes of space.
Ooh, that would have been super fancy. Well, they did say Deborah Chinelli and Deborah Bernard said that they actually had like really fancy advanced computers there on set.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And that they were this was like super techy at the time.
And I look forward to delving more into the behind the scenes stuff when we talk to potentially Sue Cabral and Carrie.
True. I actually, if there is like, we have to have computer nerd people who listen to this podcast. Can someone tell us what kind of computers they are? Because I'm sure it's like a car, and people who know them would be able to easily tell what kind of computer they are. I'd like to know.
What that was that they used then, or that was in a scene? I didn't hear that.
That was in Ewing Oil offices in 1983.
I think my brother would know. If I get him to watch it.
It shows. I mean, it shows JR on it for like a hot second.
Because like in 83 is when I moved to Birmingham, and our first computer, I was like in kindergarten. It was a Macintosh. It was that one with the printer that went.
The Commodore 64 came out in 83, I think. So I don't know. It could be, but
and they had the big 5-inch floppy disks.
The actual floppy disks.
Yeah, we had those in school too.
And then they were shrunk down to the little diskettes.
The hard,
And I remember there was a program on mine called McPuke. I don't know if you have ever heard of that one. Where when you hit the button and it ejects from the computer, it makes a vomiting sound. It goes,
Yes, but I didn't know that's what that was called. My brother, it's something I remember the third.
McPuke. So I'm in the middle of a computer class in high school, and I'm just bored, and the teacher's lecturing, and I just go over and I just click, and it ejects, and the whole class hears. And even the teacher lost it. And everybody just started laughing, and they couldn't keep their composure.
That's funny.
So who arrives to disrupt his computer time?
Miss Holly walks in.
It's Moonraker. Holly Harwood.
And he gets super nervous because he's like, so my wife is going to be here any second. So you might want to skedaddle.
Right. But I heard you were back and you have the money. And well, I'll get your half will show up tomorrow in your bank account. Let's get you on the elevator. Let's scoot you out the door. Let's go home. And she said, no, why don't you bring it by my house tomorrow night about, say, 9 p.m.? And we could have that little celebration.
Celebration.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Celebration.
Yes.
We know what that
Celebrate. Celebration. Celebration.
Little afternoon delight.
Little 9 p.m. delight.
You little 9 p.m. delight.
A little nightcap called a condom going over your little wiener.
Oh my God.
Okay, here's a legit thought. Do you think JR wore condoms?
No.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
I think he has more children out there than we can drop a stick at.
Right.
That we just never
I think
found
there's
out
no
before.
way that he practiced safe sex.
I'm gonna say, honestly, I wonder how many times Sue Ellen had to come home from the doctor with antibiotics or something.
Right?
Oh my God.
Right?
She had a little itchy itch.
And
Or how many times the doctor told her it was something else and was like, here, take some of this for this yeast infection.
Oh my God. I wonder if doctors did that, like, covered up for the husbands. I bet they did.
Perhaps, perhaps there's a secret child out there that we never will find out about with Julie Gray or some of the others that are just floating out there.
I mean, these are real. It's just open opportunities for them to come up with something for a future series. Because I mean,
so many. I bet we could all write
what
one.
if Holly left town pregnant with his child and then
Holly, Rick?
Yep. What if that?
What if Rose did him Rose later one time
on Carter's desk?
Oh,
Rose. I forgot about Rose.
Yeah, I know that's way ahead. Sorry.
What about if JR had something going on with Veronica Hamill's character and off screen that we didn't know about?
Ooh, or what if that one time he slept with April before she's with Bobby, and April. There's a lot of women he slept with. We could go on for hours.
It's true. It's true. We could.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I just Sue Ellen.
Yes.
Girl. Yeah. You need an OBGYN on standby. Mm-hmm, like you need her pager number right next to your bed. Oh my God.
I would like to go back.
What about Luther Frick's woman in Winds of Vengeance? Brian Dennehy. He could have had. There could have been a child there. We don't know. Ray could have had a child with that other bimbette.
Wanda?
Could have, yeah.
Wanda?
You never know. You don't know.
Wanda.
We never know. We never do.
Wanda. Yeah. I would love to go back and make a list from episode 1 all the way to the end of how many, like just get on like.
There was one. There was one on the Ultimate Dallas website. There was a list of how many women that JR is. Yeah, somebody named them all off.
I mean,
my God.
like, and those randoms, like a girl in a
Diana
hotel
Farrington.
or anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Even ones that they just referenced.
Ew.
All the way going all the way back to Leanne de la Vega and beyond.
It's okay. So is that all gone now because the Ultimate Dallas website's not up? Is this
Yes,
gone?
the Ultimate Dallas website is gone. Yes.
It's all gone.
I
That's
remember
so
it, though.
depressing.
There was a list.
I wonder if it's
There was a
available
list
on
of
the Wayback
everybody's-
Machine.
Maybe.
Internet Archive.
All
Didn't
the
we talk
Dallas
about that?
characters all had a list of their like lovers
Ooh.
in consecutive order.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That would be so neat to look at.
Yeah.
Well, what if he had a secret child with Abby Cunningham?
We should put,
North
that's the sort of
Landon?
thing we should put on ours. We could just,
Yeah. I love it.
our website.
And he was
Start a
hot
new
for
Dallas forum.
He was hot for
Okay.
Karen. He was hot for Karen Fairgate, but she was not going to have any of it with him.
If you guys would help me moderate it, I'd put it on our website.
Thankfully, he gets Holly on that elevator because moments later, who comes off the other one?
Right. She like kisses him, and then 1 second later, the elevator opens and it's Sue Ellen.
I'm surprised Sue Ellen doesn't smell woman on him.
How does she not?
He had his handkerchief. Like, oh, I had to get rid of something. Like,
But
Dude.
couldn't she smell woman? Like perfume or something?
You know what? I'm sure that just her power of denial by this point.
not only that, but his secretary is just like left probably not long ago. So
That's true.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Let's go have some dinner with Rye and Donna and Aunt Lil.
Right.
Rye.
now, I said earlier this whole episode is awkward. This scene, cringe.
It's it is because it's just
Oh no, Raymond, I can't have any more wine. Oh no.
because I had one sip of it before dinner. Woo!
Ooh. And I'm drunk. And Lord knows the secrets from Emporia that are going to come out of my mouth now that I've had one sip of wine.
Just Aunt Lil drives me insane.
Yep. I
I'm with
understand.
Mickey and getting the
I'm
hell
with
out of there.
Mickey. Yes. We love Mickey. We stand Mickey.
Yeah. And Aunt Lil, Jesus.
Stand? What do you mean stand, Mickey?
Stan. We've gone over this so many times. STAN.
I don't know what that means.
You're a fan of them. You stand up for them.
Oh, okay.
Communist.
Okay.
So Ray finally breaks down and confesses to Aunt Lil that Jack was his dad.
She doesn't want to hear it at first.
Scandalized. She's just scandalized.
Her
Isn't she kind
pure
of like
ears.
at one point she's like, well, Margaret never said a word. Like she never told me. And it's like, well, with that
Why
kind of
would
reaction,
she?
why would she?
Well, plus that's a totally different time. Also, like that's like that would be.
I'm going to take out an ad in the Emporia Gazette and say that I had an affair with Jock
Shit
Ewing.
like that, only like maybe one or two people knew the truth of.
I was saying, you're not going to go around and be like, guess what? I had sex with Jock and I had a baby with him. You're not going to do that.
Right.
Especially then.
No, I'm sure ancestry DNA and the creation of it caused a whole lot of bullshit.
Oh, it did. I know several people.
I do too. No, I have a very good friend, and he has a sister, and I don't think the dad cheated on the mom, but they were together. But he was in the military, so then he was living apart.
On a break? Were they on a break?
No, they were still together, but not engaged or anything. They were having a long distance. He was in the military, but she never thought he was gonna. He has a sister, and it was like a shock. And like the girl would not leave him alone until they messaged her back because she finds in a certified letter to their office, which their office is him and his brother and his dad's company. So it came to the family office. Like she tracked them down. They were just going to ignore it, and applicant didn't happen. And then she got a letter written up, and
she's like, "You're not going to ignore me."
Yeah,
I'm not going to be ignored, Dan. No.
Anyway,
yeah, it's crazy.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Hey.
So then Aunt Lil's just like, I guess she takes it in. I don't know.
She
like,
ends up
okay,
dealing
Jock
with it.
Ewing.
She ends up dealing with it a lot better than expected.
Yes. Which is
Still awkward.
Awkward is trying to get a hold of Pam in France, and Afton can't because she's not in the room. And the next scene,
she can't do it.
Quick throwaway scene there.
Yeah. Filler. I basically wrote down, "Don't do it, all of you." Right here for like the next couple of scenes. I'm like, no!
Collective, don't do it.
Collective, stop, time out.
Stop.
Stop. Collaborate. Listen. Ice is back with my brand new invention.
Well, Thornton McLeish is back, actually. And he's come to see Bobby to ask him straight out, like, hey, if it comes down to it and you're going to lose, Bobby's like, I'm not going to lose. He's like, okay, but if you do, and we can see that you're going to lose, like, say that's going to happen, can you please just sell to someone else so we don't have to deal with your brother?
We don't care if it's Cliff or somebody else, just anybody.
Anybody but JR. And then Bobby's like,
we don't want to do business with him.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to get political, but I feel like we learned nothing.
We learned
from Dallas.
This country learned
nothing from Dallas.
Nothing. They were teaching us this lesson 40 years ago, and we're just like, whatever.
When the family doesn't show up, like when you're in that much financial hop, and you're committing illegal deals to try. Oh my God! Like, what the hell? Corruption at its finest. And then
fool me once, shame on you.
And then
fool
our
me, can't
allies
fold
are
again.
like, "Fuck you! We don't want to do business with you because of your brother, or because of him. Like, no, like you're on your own." And it's like, get JR out of the company. Why do they keep letting him back in? Like, why? What the hell is he doing?
Because he just keeps bulldozing his way back in.
Like Holly Harwood bulldozing her way back into like Holly Harwood bulldozing her way back into Sue Ellen's appointment.
Sue Ellen's getting her nails done at Mr. David's.
So wait, he does hair and nails?
Well, a lot of times salons have both hair. A beauty salon have hair and nails at the same time. A lot of them.
Hair, nails, tan, waxing.
Yeah.
And you have to wear those little funny little things over your eyes and the tanning beds. Which I wore along with 3 pairs of sunglasses during the eclipse because I couldn't find solar eclipse glasses anywhere.
Oh, you should have got all the libraries were giving them out for free.
I went to my library. They said we have none.
Oh, really? We're out? That sucks. We got them just on accident. We went to the library and they're like, do you want glasses? We're like, oh, yeah, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
They said you could use welding glasses too.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. So Holly comes and basically just tells Sue Ellen, like, hey, you should come to my house tonight at 9. If you want to know what's going on, come to my house.
She says, and she knew that they were going out to dinner because she was with him moments before.
Oh, yeah.
You are a vicious little girl.
Vicious little girl.
And I right.
And she doesn't want JR in his life, in her life. Sue Ellen doesn't believe Holly. Well, he was in Cuba getting our money. There was a deal going on. Come by 9 o'clock tonight.
So then we cut to later that night. Sue Ellen calling the office to see if JR is there, but nope, sorry, the office is actually closed.
And
why would you call there? I don't know.
I've been so invested in them being a power couple and getting along that this whole sequence actually I've been dreading.
For sure.
It hurt. It
We all
hurts.
know it's coming up.
It hurts.
It really does.
It hurts as much as Pornstache and Pam outside room 106
Oh my God. So they've had a really nice dinner, and shit's about to go down.
Down on him?
Oh, he's hoping. He's thinking. He's all about it. Yeah.
He's like,
because you can tell, because he's like, they say goodnight, and then like stare at each other's eyes for a second, and then she gives him like the like test kiss, and then he's like, yeah, fuck it, and then they go in for the kill.
Tongue hockey.
His co-pilot is taking over here.
Because and then he says, he looks her like straight in the eye and has said, "You want me as much as I want you," and she's like, "Fuck yeah, I do."
that's cheesy.
So cheesy, but
he got his in his chair.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, aren't we live on Twitch? I gotta
we are
provide some
live on
comedy.
Twitch.
I gotta provide some comedy here.
Yeah.
We gotta be more visual here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So speaking of visual, the clothes are about to come off when the phone
Danger Noodle's
rings.
about to come out.
Uh-huh.
The rope, no. Danger
Danger
Noodle.
Noodle's poking out at this point. Yeah.
He's prairie dogging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like on Bridesmaids, where she goes, a penis. Like, that's my favorite.
Oh, man.
So sad.
Prairie dogging.
Yeah.
Oh man. And it's Afton, poor Afton, and then she can't spit it out. She needs to just be like, Katherine is trying to fuck Bobby, but she can't like get it out. And I'm like, just spit it out, Afton.
And then the phone goes dead.
Like nervous, or she don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, or she don't want
both. I think she just didn't know how, when she finally gets a hold of her, she just like can't come out and say it. She's trying to be like nice.
Yeah.
And not hurt Pam's feelings, but I don't know. But
So
you're on a bad connection. Just spit it out.
I am going to say Afton
You're limited time.
Afton is coitus interruptus.
Wait this out.
She was saved by the bell there, honestly.
It's all right because we're saved by the. It's all right because I'm saved by the bell.
But then before she can get out what she's trying to say, they're disconnected.
Of course they are.
And then it's at that moment that she realizes she really needs to not fuck Pornstache at that moment.
He tells her and he tells her, "No, stay. We got to see what's going on between us and between my legs."
We have there's a situation that we need to take care of between my legs.
It just won't go down.
If it lasts more than 4 hours, please consult your doctor.
Yeah.
If I was a guy and my hard on did not go down after like an hour, I would be nervous. They say 3 to 4 hours. Are you going to wait that long to go get it hammered down? And what are you going to do?
Hammer it down.
4 hours of going on tour. She says no. She said no. She got to go.
Yeah, she
One
got to
time my
go.
dog got a boner and it wouldn't go in, and he goes, wee, 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 and he ran around. It was just dry again.
Who?
My dog. Did you think it's Scott?
I didn't hear sounds.
I mean, maybe. I'm just kidding there.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
So then we get Sue Ellen nervously walking out of South Fork with her fur coat on, and you can just like see that she's like, "What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
I shouldn't be doing this. What am I doing?"
And then a car pulls into the car park.
Oh, this whole scene is just painful.
I know.
Yep.
And is it fucking snowing?
Jeez.
I kept seeing these little flickers like in front of the like coming down. And I was like, it's raining or it's snowing. And I noticed the big fur coat. And I was like, is this supposed to be
Probably
winter?
ash.
They were on a soundstage at this point, so.
But they could have made it seem like it was like bad weather.
That looked like a location, just the driveway. But whatever.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe in Hollywood. I don't know.
If it was the driveway, then they would have shown Bobby driving.
No, the driveway. It's in her place, right? They're talking about Holly's place.
Oh, I'm not over there yet. I'm still back at Bobby talking to Sue Ellen.
Oh, for here I put, Bobby, why are you dumb right now? And then I went, okay, wait, that was smart. But then he changed it up, and he tried to get her to be like, well, why don't you come in and talk about it? You know, and it's good that she finds out now, I guess. Yeah, instead of letting it drag on, because it's bad enough right now.
Right. But this is where it spirals.
This is where it spirals, and this is where she's like, no, I gotta see this through.
Yeah, but there's different ways you can find out things, and that's one of a couple, and that's probably the worst way she could have found out. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
with her own eyes?
Like, if somebody said, let me tell you something, this is going to be fucking painful, but I'm here, let's talk about it, don't blare shit yet. But that kind of situation, when people pull out guns and shoot the person, like, honestly.
Yeah. Well, and JR didn't even used to hide it from her. He kind of rubbed it in her face. Now, he's like,
got busted.
He's like, she cannot find out about this.
Right.
But it's kind of weird because he's like, you know, not only like, will I like fucking like lose my son and everything, but it's going to fucking devastate her too.
But in between
she believes
her,
in us now.
In between her leaving, speaking of blowing their stack, we have Afton telling Cliff that she called Pam in France. And he blows his stack at her, saying she's going to come back and side with Bobby, and he only cares about the business deal because it was, and she's like, that's all you care about is yourself. And he goes, for once, I'd like to think about myself. And she goes, no, you always think about
that's all you think about.
Oh my God, Cliff.
Cliff, you barnacle.
I don't think he knows he does it.
He doesn't. He's so in his own shit all the time.
That's it. Josh and I were talking about that earlier. How like Cliff has Cliff has tunnel vision, and he's blind in his peripherals, and it's always JR coming up on the peripheral side, like where he can't see him. And Afton's like pulling her hair out at this point.
Right. And she storms out for I don't know where. But
she's just like,
she's just pissed. She needs to not be there.
Goodbye.
This is you. This is me. Bye-bye. Sue Ellen does not need to be where she is going to be because this...
This is where I meant to ask, is it fucking snowing? Because it looked like it.
Might be. So JR and Holly are in bed post-coital.
And an aerial shot above of him. Very interesting choice of camera technique.
And he's basically like, oh, you know what? You're right. You're really good in bed. And she's like, I told you.
Yeah, but I got to be going now. So I got to get home. But no,
there's some intense music in this scene too. It's like really intense.
Sue Ellen approaches the door to the house, which I thought at first until they showed that it was a window on the door. I thought the door was left open at first to the house.
Right? Yeah, that's. It looked at first like she just left the door open. I was like, that's weird.
Because Holly wanted Sue Ellen to be able to come in without JR
it was so
hearing.
deliberate.
I thought it was cracked or left open or something.
Yeah. But it was actually a window on the door because Sue Ellen actually opened the door.
So then she had...
It's all it's fucking weird.
Yeah. I think it's weird that Sue Ellen just walks in. She's just like...
That's another thing. Like, would you just walk into somebody's house?
I know. It's weird.
Well, Holly was pretty much like, come over.
That's
true. But obviously she sent home her... She obviously sent home her male bimbo personal assistant because he wasn't there to answer the door.
Well, yeah, that was really late, though. He works business hours. He's a 9 to 5 guy.
9 to 5.
Male Dolly Parton.
So JR tries to leave, and Holly is like, "No, you have to stay longer." And she totally
wraps her legs around him.
Yeah. And he's just like, okay. He's just basically like, I don't understand you at all, but I like this version of you. Let's go.
Let's ride.
Just as Sue Ellen crosses the threshold and sees it all.
Holly
Sue Ellen spies with her little eye.
Yeah.
Holly gives her that look of satisfaction, like I have
Like,
just screwed
I
them
fucking
up.
told you.
Like, I told you. And Sue Ellen is like lip quivering, devastated, freeze frame.
Freeze frame. Yep. Freeze frame swelling.
And-
So drink twice.
Scene. And scene.
QQ Ben's coming.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to give this a 4.6 bourbons, 4.65, because I really like the Pam and Pornstache drama, like hang off a little bit, finally doing something. And I love the Afton being totally right about everything again. And no one listening to her. So I give it 4.65 bourbons and Mark's blue balls.
That was so good. Okay. So I'm going to give it a 4.75 just because I know what's coming after, like coming up, like crazy town times 10. Okay. Then I was going to say, and a smart Afton, but I also want to say, and Holly hard, giving JR a hardwood.
Yeah.
I was trying to make a Josh joke.
Some very Josh joke.
Holly hardwood.
Okay, let me cross that out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that your joke?
Anyway,
No.
Yeah.
God. Was that really your joke? I just took your joke. We think alike. Oh my gosh. I'm kidding.
No.
Yeah. Look at it. It was really yours is about hardwood, weren't you?
It's gonna cry.
That's kind of cool. Josh is on my weird way. Look, Josh, telepathic. I'm telepathic with you right now. Oh, he's about to get drunk. Okay, your turn, Josh. Sorry.
Yeah.
well, let's go to plan B now.
Yeah.
Okay. Last 3 episodes of the season before a cliffhanger, you are obviously starting to pull together the storylines and bring them to a head, which is probably what Holly gave JR before.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, and so that leads me to the 4.8, just to one up you. And well, since they work for Bill Clinton, I'm going to give it a box of cigars.
Cuban cigar.
Cuban cigars.
Cuban cigar.
Go.
Yeah. I never had relations with that woman.
But I did.
I give it a 4.65 because there was a lot of awkward. And
A lot of awkward.
one set of balls coming from Afton to Cliff because Afton has more than he does.
Oh, always. Always.
Do your balls swing low? Do they swing to and fro? Do you drag him in a ditch? He's got big balls and she's got big balls.
Awesome. Well, next time we're going to be talking about season 6, episode 26, episode 129 of the series.
Yeah.
Things ain't going too good at South Fork.
I've got it on here.
Yeah. Things ain't going too well at South Fork.
Yeah.
Awesome. In the meantime, check out our website and talk to us on our Facebook group or on Instagram.
Yeah.
And sorry I've been absent for a couple of weeks. A lot of shit's gone down, but I'm back, bitches.
She's back.
Were you being detained in Cuba?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
Yes.
we are now every episode when we record, we are recording live on Twitch.
Yeah.
And
So
could
if
see.
you have any interest in watching the record, which is going to have things that don't end up making it in the final episode, you are welcome to do so. It is twitch.com/EwingBBQ. I'm pretty sure. I'll definitely put it in our show notes. Just if you subscribe to us, you'll even get like a little notification that that we're going live. But I'll put the schedule of our recording up as well on there. So come and check us out.
That's Twitch.
It's
Which,
X-rated sometimes.
Sometimes.
that's Twitch, which is what Mark's balls were doing, and
shit.
Pornstache's balls were doing in his pants
And you'll
while he
see
was
me
waiting
drop
to do
things
Pam in
and
bed.
fumble.
Oh,
Wait, what
okay.
did you say? I'm so sorry.
I said,
About Mark's balls twitching. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pornstache.
Yeah.
Pornstache was left twitching in his pants because he couldn't get with Pam because she had to go home.
Yeah.
He had the throat feeling in his stomach, kind of like when you get kicked in the balls.
Well, wasn't that special?
No, okay.
Okay. All right. Until then, bye.
Bye, y'all.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Blue Balls?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Say goodnight,
Yeah.
Gracie.
Yeah.
Good night,
Good night,
Gracie.
Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Yeah.
Night, John Boy. Night, John Boy.
Good night.
Next on Dallas.
I saw you and Holly. Bed.
Sue Ellen, don't fly off the handle. I can explain all of this. Hang on.
Don't you touch me!
Darling.
What is Katherine to you?
Right now, Katherine is about the best friend I have in the whole world. And that's it. Final, period.
You go to sleep.
No.